Cheers.
Yeah. Does that version of Lowry have a better chance in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it eases some of the pressure off of him to have to make every play. He and Derozan for a stretch there, they were the 1 and 2 guys on that team, and now they've added more playmaking and Van Fleet, the kid I love, and a lot more space and shooting. I think now Kyle can still have his big games, but it's not necessary to win for the Toronto Raptors.
And character is who you are when nobody's looking. And I wrote down when Kyle Lowry said in 2012, what did people perceive of him? Hard to coach. Coach killer, bad apple. He actually was that when he got to Toronto. You heard it in the piece. Right. They needed Demar Derozan to be a mediator, a go-between. When the coach has to tell you, hey, can you tell the point guard that this is what we're running? That's a major issue. And so I appreciate that they now have a level of maturity and respect for one another, that it's all about the team. And Van Vliet helps a lot also.
And I think, too, Masai said it best. In my experience in winning, everyone has to give up a piece of themselves. It's a must. I don't care what team it is. Everyone has to sacrifice something. That Warriors team, all of those guys are giving up a piece of their game. They can be doing more somewhere else. But that's part of the deal if you really want to accomplish the ultimate level, which is hold that trophy.
They're obviously very aware of the struggles they've gone through the playoffs. We obviously will be talking about it in the next few weeks. And if it comes to fruition, going into the playoffs even more. So you're coaching Kyle Lowry. You're coaching these guys. Yeah. What do you do? What's the strategy?
I dig back into his toughest moments where he really struggled and teams really did a good job of disrupting him. And I try to, learn from the past and try to encourage him through what we learned from the past and really try to take that burden off of him. Knowing the case, the kind of coach he is, he's probably saying, Kyle, you know what? I should have done this in that series, and not saying you should have done this. And I think that's going to help Kyle kind of move into this with a lot more confidence and less pressure on him.
And, Woj, I want to dig back into something that happened in the piece to actually answer your question. When they say that they rely on Kyle Lowry more, what ends up happening is you've shown me that I can't always trust you. And then when you go to the postseason and you don't perform in the postseason the way you've done in the regular season, now we got to take the ball out of your hands some. And now we see Van Vliet getting a lot of those minutes late in the fourth quarter.
And I think Kyle's gotten an unfair knock in the postseason. They've had historic success in that organization in the playoffs. They've gotten to a conference final. He got hurt last year in the postseason. I think he's had more success in the playoffs than people give Lowry credit for.
You know what it is? It's that word decompress. It was when he was, I needed time. I think that just, we live in a Google society. It sticks with you. You get 1 or 2 labels. That's it. But before you leave, any news for us?
Woj bomb.
Woj bomb.
That's Charlotte and Mitch Kupchak. They don't have an agreement in place yet, but they've made significant progress toward Kupchak becoming the president of basketball operations and general manager for the Hornets. A deal is expected to get done soon here.
Carolina, baby. Jordan Kupchak.
Whatever they're doing, they better keep Kemba Walker.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast.
Exactly.
They've got a lot of contracts, bad contracts, that they're going to have to try to get off next year. This is a real challenge. It'll be a real challenge for Kupchak.